Hello everybody, so today we're here to rank every single chapter of Shinjuku Showdown because I have a massive tier list that I spent a little bit too long making, more than I'd like to admit, I'll be honest. But I'm not here alone today, I brought a special guest with me. Say hi, Alonzi.
Hello guys.
Was
That's
good?
it, that's my hello.
Perfect. Perfect, that's good enough. As you guys know, there are 36 parts in the Shinjuku Showdown, which is a lot of parts. We are not counting the Takaba versus Kenjaku fight because I don't want to be here all day, and I'm pretty sure we just put them in E or D tier. Agreed?
Oh no, we're not getting into that right now. It's gonna take too long.
Agreed. So basically, here's my way of I'm planning this out. As you can see, there's a best chapters section right up here, right? So both of us are going to have one free chapter that we can put in best chapters. So any of these chapters we can put in there, no debate from the other person no matter what. But there's going to be a third chapter we have to put in there that we have to agree to.
That's sick, I like that idea. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to, the pressure's on now, damn.
Yeah. See, this is his first time finding out about this right as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I decided to put in what I think is the most memorable moment from each of the chapters as their profile picture for them. So yeah,
you've done a good job of it. You've definitely done a good job of it. I'm recognizing.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this on Twitter later, the tier list I actually made for this. This is for everybody to use. This is a public tier list, so yeah. I'll keep updating this more and more Shinjuku Showdown chapters that come out, so more people can have access to it. So we'll start with obviously part 1, the 200% Hollow Purple. Where would you put that one?
Obviously, it's kind of just the end of the chapter is
yeah,
a lot more hype than the first half, but that ending is, you get the whole you are the challenger, Sukuna having to heal his arms. I think that Hollow Purple is too cool. I think it's at least an A for me. I mean, this does jumpstart the greatest fight in JJK.
That is true.
It's the beginning.
For me, I kind of have to put in B tier, honestly. The only
I see that.
Yeah. The reason I put it in B tier is purely because only the bottom half of the chapter is hype. And also because I think we're going to have a lot of chapters going in A tier. So
I'm okay with that. I think it makes sense. It has just got one hype moment that kickstarts everything, but the rest of it is just, there's the stuff about, Gakuganji and Panda, which is cool, but
doesn't belong in.
I don't care about Panda right now,
Yeah.
In this moment, it's not who I'm thinking about.
Also, Josh in Betweener, the biggest Kusakabe fan, just said 253 is the best chapter, which Kusakabe fights Sukuna.
I believe that's 254, if I'm not mistaken.
Ha, the Kusakabe fan doesn't even know. The biggest Kusakabe fan on the platform, huh? Anyways, the next chapter is the entire Sukuna versus Gojo hand-to-hand clash in that type of battle. Where would you put that?
See, it's nothing really that impactful happens, but it's still so fire to see Gojo just, when they're not in domains, Gojo does just kick his ass. And it's something we don't see. This is I think it's a stronger version of Sukuna. Probably the strongest version of Sukuna that we've seen. I'm not gonna lie. And obviously people will go oh, Gojo's infinity. But it's yeah, his abilities make him strong. This is one guy just sort of messing around with the King of Curses no one else has, and it's so cool and satisfying to see him get, literally have a building thrown at him is crazy. So it's at least a B tier for me.
Yeah, I think I have to put it the top of B. I love the hand-to-hand choreography. I love seeing how Gojo uses infinity because he uses his infinity so creatively in that fight, and I especially love there is no peanut gallery section from that chapter too.
It is a really underrated part of the fight in terms of how Gojo actually uses his kit. Just the way that Gege used the environment, how he's throwing bridges, sending him crashing through buildings, and it's really inventive. I like it a lot. And
the entire table, I'm just remembering Gojo and Sukuna battling in between a table and having the fight between that. So yeah, we both agree that top of B tier for now?
I'd say top of B, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So the next chapter is going to be when Sukuna and Gojo first have their domain clash, and I would say I'm going to piss a lot of people off, or a lot of people are going to understand why I'm doing this. I'm putting it in C tier. The main reason why is because there was a lot of people talking in that chapter, and the only cool part about it was the end part of the chapter for me.
It's got arguably one of the coldest panels in all of Jujutsu Kaisen.
It does, but it's 90% of it is just peanut gallery. That's why I don't like it that much.
See, let me look at this conversation. You got, but I didn't really care for whatever. Most of the conversation is just non-special grade sorcerers being completely lost, and then basically Yuta and Kusakabe telling everybody that they're wrong for thinking whatever they're thinking.
Just telling them to shut up and continue watching.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
I don't
that
mind it
much.
either.
I quite enjoy these interactions, but there are some things that just like I don't need to see Momo complain about.
Yeah.
What was it? Ino fighting about like how much cursed energy Gojo has is not really relevant. Yeah, I see your point.
Yeah,
I would still say B, but yeah.
Fair. I'm okay with putting it in B. Like, I only put it like in C because I don't think like the talking is that good, but I'm okay with doing this to B. Someone just said the chapter where Yuji and Yuta jump Sukuna is the best, and I low-key agree with that, or one of the best ones.
I think a lot of people, I don't know if you guys even actually know me, to be fair, but people who watch me will know that I love Yuta and expect me to put that as like my golden buzzer, but There's another chapter I've got in mind. There's another chapter I've got in mind that I'm trying to decide.
Yeah. I'm in between two chapters myself, and we're gonna get to that eventually because we're still on Gojo versus Sukuna right now. And someone just said part 4 is A. You're wrong. That's S. That's the entire Gojo versus Sukuna first domain battle. Right after, like, it's like when Gojo gets his neck
it's got
cut,
him getting,
and then the entire battle between them. And, like, seeing Gojo have to heal off all the cuts with RCT and his RCT going through the roof.
Because I love this chapter because it does, like, it shows how strong they both are.
Yeah.
Without, like, it doesn't really downplay one of them. It's just, Sukuna beat the domain, Gojo did the same.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
just
the art is also so good. Yeah, I'm okay with S tier, honestly. Yeah, I have to agree.
Like, I could hear at first you were like hesitant, and then you were like, "Oh, it's that chapter, right?"
Yeah, no, I had a little look through it, and it's just the art is so good.
Yeah.
It's the chapter. I'm not sure I got the right one. He like throws a red at the end, right, when he discovers how to heal his curse technique. Yeah, that's cold Gojo moment. It has to be S tier.
Yeah, that's just really cold. The next one is like, it's the chapter in between. It's like right before. It's like Mahoraga gets summoned. Not even the next chapter. The next chapter is like their like next domain clash. I don't remember it too much, but I put it in A tier. What about you?
See, this is an interesting one because it is kind of just a lot of fighting in the domain and then resulting in kind of like the same outcome. I by no means dislike it. I don't think it's.
I think it gets overshadowed by like the previous chapter.
Yeah, a little bit. It feels like it kind of took it a little step down from the last one, but very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd put it A.
A tier.
I mean, it's definitely better than what we've got in B, I think, yeah.
The next chapter is the small domain chapter. Like when Gojo figures out how to do like the mini domain. I'm putting in A or S, but what about you?
It's easily an A.
Easily an A.
I don't think it's S. Just because, I don't know, comparing it to what we have in S, it wasn't as hype, I don't think, but
Agreed.
Shrine collapsing. My main problem with this domain clash and the next one is that I've always just wanted to see what actually happened inside the domain.
Oh yeah, those battles got off-screened. Yeah, that N8 here.
It shifts it down for me. It's still a great chapter, but I can't put something I have a complaint about in S tier, I don't think.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with that one. Up next is the chapter where Mahoraga returns. Is that A or S? Because I feel it has to be one of the two. Because that's like when Mahoraga breaks the domain. And oh wait, no, S. I think it's S.
It has to be S, I think.
It completely shattered the hype for Mahoraga. Or not hype. It could like I remember the entire fan base for a while. When Mahoraga first showed up, everyone thought Gojo was screwed because they weren't sure how much Mahoraga had actually adapted to, since Gojo had used everything by that point. Those were the days.
Yeah, I can't lie. I'm looking over it now. Like, it is S tier. So much happens.
It's just so good. And like all the build up back to Mahoraga. And then the next chapter, I think, also has to go in S, where both Gojo and Sukuna's domains are out. It also shows
I'd say it's lower S, but yeah, I think it is.
Fair. For me, it showed like one of my favorite Gojo moments of all time. When Gojo says that I still have to look cool for my students. That's the picture I actually have on there, because I feel that's one of the most underrated Gojo moments. How even though his brain is on cooldown from having to reconstruct it so many times, he still wants to look cool for his students and tell them it's okay.
And also just like, this is the moment where Sukuna had this is where his plan in his head had taken him. I've beaten you, your domain's gone, that was the main problem. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to adapt your infinity because I want to, but you're done. There's nothing you can do about it. I just want to learn how to bypass your infinity. I've already won the fight. And I feel like it's the only time really that we've seen where Sukuna thinks he's done and his opponent gets up and is just like, no, I'm gonna beat your ass now. And it's just so cold. So he wasn't
Agreed.
expecting that. It's great to see.
It's also the moment where Sukuna just realizes Gojo is actually someone of value and isn't just a nobody. We got Gojo shadow clones and Gojo versus Sukuna for a bit. Where are you gonna put this one? Like the Gojo after images versus Sukuna and that entire chapter.
My favorite part about that chapter is like, it's the first double spread where he is just like dragging Sukuna's ass across a brick wall.
Agreed.
With that grin, like that sadistic grin on his face, which like makes the whole chapter for me. I mean, the fight is insane in general. The shadow clone thing, I never really cared that much for. I'm not gonna lie.
I also remember like a lot of people were discussing the reason why I put it as the shadow clones as the profile picture for it is because a lot of people were just thinking this was a new ability that Gojo showed, and he just had shadow clones at the time where we only had leaks. But then but yeah, this chapter was just overall hype. I'm putting it in top of A. Do you think it belongs higher?
No, I think A's a good place to put it. Definitely at the top. Yeah, for sure.
And the next one, Black Flash Red combo. I think putting it at the top of S is fair. Oh, you don't want to put it there. Explain.
No. This is the chapter that's in contention for my golden buzzer.
Oh, then
and I need to make my mind
all right,
up about it.
I'll hold off on that one for now, and then we'll come back to that later.
It's
then.
definitely S tier because I can't lie to you, that Black Flash is my favorite Gojo panel in the whole series. It's my favorite Gojo moment. I don't feel like I'm watching an anime when I read a manga, but when I saw that panel, like it gave me chills and I felt like I was watching something.
I could legit hear
insane.
It felt like I was watching when Nobara and Yuji landed their Black Flash on like the brothers all over again. So
it was the way just like Sukuna got outsmarted. It's the way he's using blue in a different way to how we've seen it before. The red was impressive enough.
Yeah. To
take Sukuna off guard, just straight up outsmart Sukuna, and then the Black Flash was it was just different.
Agreed.
I'm gonna leave it S, but
for now we'll keep it in best chapters, and like when we get to the other one that's in debate, then we'll move it down. Or
we'll decide. Okay, yeah, that's fair.
So up next is the entire chapter where Agito shows up, the Sukuna water squirt gun, that type of thing. S or A or B? Where do you think it belongs? For me, this chapter solidified a lot of my opinions about Ten Shadows and how it's massively underrated as a technique, and like it's much better. It's just you need better users of it than Megumi, because like Megumi is good. But Sukuna just showed off how to actually use it, and a lot of my theories about how it could be used came true in that one. So for me, I'm putting it somewhere between A and S, but what about you?
I think it's definitely an A. I think the fight with... I think Agito is... I find Agito really cool, even if it was almost useless against Gojo.
It did nothing, but it was still pretty cool.
It's so underrated just as an ability. The fact that we learned you can manifest the Shikigami's abilities to use for yourself, like with piercing, I don't know what's called it, piercing water.
I call it piercing aqua. Yeah.
That was really, really damn cool. Also, just seeing him throwing hands with Mahoraga.
Yeah.
The light speed fire extinguisher, which
that explodes at the speed of light.
Yeah, there you go, guys. FTL confirmed in JJK.
So like A tier?
Yeah, A tier. A tier for sure. All of these chapters are so good.
Yep, that's why I was like, that's why when we got to like the first chapter, I was like, are you sure you want to put it in A tier considering how many things you're going to put in A tier?
Yeah, it's now that I look at that chapter again, I'm like, it is just that last bit that's really hype.
Yeah.
Though, now that I think, like, in this whole thing, are we going to get a single chapter in E or D tier?
I'm going to be surprised if you don't put this one in E or D tier, I'll be honest with you.
Wait, which one?
You'll see, actually, you'll see. We'll wait for that one for later, but you should see it pretty soon.
Alright.
So up next is
I can think of A chapter maybe.
Yeah. Gojo executing Agito and like maximum output blue.
It has to be S tier.
It has
surely.
to be S. Agreed.
It has to be S. That panel is so famous now. Is that this chapter? Oh, it's not this chapter.
Yeah, that's the next chapter. But part 12 is definitely
both
S. Oh yeah, no. Unlimited Hollow.
Both S
top of S. Top of S for now.
Absolute top for sure.
I mean, we do still have one chapter where if we both agree on it, we can put it in best chapter. But I don't think we're going to say... I think we'll save that for later. Like when we actually finish the entire tier list and go back on it.
Yeah, we can look back on it and decide on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that has... Those two chapters are so good.
Yep. So up next is the Gojo talking afterlife scene.
I think that's really difficult because it's such a change of pace.
Yeah.
I really like everything...
I like it.
I actually don't know. What do you think?
I like how it reads into Gojo's character a lot. It shows a
Yeah.
different side of Gojo that we never really understood about him. I'm in between A or S. I'm genuinely between A or S right now with this one. But I think top of A is where it belongs.
I think A is very justified. It has got that well Satoru Gojo where I won't forget you for as long as I live panel at the end, which is also pretty damn cold.
Someone just said
Unfortunately,
someone just said part 14 is the
crushes it.
worst chapter. Put in E. No, it's not that. It's good. It's a good chapter.
No, see, this is what I was gonna say. Is like if this tier list was based on what I thought the community thought of stuff, it would go way down below. Because also just like the kind of things that people take out of context and the way people interpret this chapter, it's so wrong sometimes. But like I think it's great. And I think it's very good.
Agreed. Someone just asked a really good question. Will subsequent chapters influence the rankings of previous chapters? I mean, it can. That's up to us when we get to those points. Like,
Yeah, I think we can mix it up as we go along.
yeah.